Hi everybody, Matthew Turnage here. A couple weeks ago I did a video responding to 15 questions for Beatles fans from Calico Silver. And I was watching Jeff's channel today, catching up on some of his recent videos, and he had done a video responding to 15 more questions for Beatles fans from JT Media. And I went and checked out Jack at JT Media's original video and some of his other stuff. And if you haven't checked out his channel, you should too. He's a big Beatle fan and has got some good stuff on his channel. And I thought I'd do my response to his 15 questions also. So question number 1. What year would you most wish to see the Beatles live? 1964, 1965, or 1966? Between those three options, I'm going to say 1964. It'd be fun to see them just as Beatlemania was really exploding globally, and kind of catch them in that frenzy, I think. Although if I had my option to see them at any point in their career, I'd probably pick 1962, see them as they were just getting ready to move beyond the cavern, and see some of that early pre-fame performance, and see what that was all about. Question number 2. A Hard Day's Night or Help? Well, I'm going to choose Hard Day's Night, one of my all-time favorite Beatle albums. Certainly the best of the first half of their career. I mentioned in my response to Jeff's questions that I think Help is a really underrated album, but still, A Hard Day's Night can't be beat when you're talking between those two. So, A Hard Day's Night. Question number 3, Octopuss's Garden or Don't Pass Me By? I'm going to go with Octopuss's Garden. I like Don't Pass Me By fine, but Octopuss's Garden is a lot of fun. I like the sound effects, nice backing vocals there from the other Beatles. It's a really good tune. I really like it a lot, so I'm going to take it. Number 4, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the opening track from the album or the reprise? This was tough because I like the way that drum kicks in on the reprise and how hard it rocks and everything. But I'm going to pick the opening track. I like the verse in there, and it's just so iconic, and how it transitions into With a Little Help from My Friends. So I'm going to go with the opening track. Favorite Beatles album cover? I'm going to say it's my favorite album, and it's got my favorite cover, and that's Abbey Road. I think that cover is just so iconic of the Beatles crossing the street, and it's, although it's not necessarily apparent from the cover if you don't know the geography, it is rather symbolic, the fact that they're walking away from the studio there here at the end of their recording career together. But I just love that cover. I also love, it's got one of the things I love about a lot of my favorite album covers is how simple it is. Not even any text or anything on it, just the photo, and it's makes a very strong statement, I think. All right, question number 6. If you could take a track off a Beatles album and make it better, would you? And if so, which one? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't lose a track off of any of their albums. I suppose if I had to pick one, it would be probably Revolution 9. That's the one I think I would miss the least off of any of their albums, but I still like it for its place, or at least it's grown on me over the years, so I don't think I would lose it. Question number 7. What is your favorite side of Beatles music? Well, I'm going to go back to Abbey Road, say side 2 of Abbey Road. I think, well, of course, it starts off so great with one of George's best songs, Here Comes the Sun, and then you've got Because, great three-part vocal harmony there that John, Paul, and George did so well together. But the medley, I think, is the best thing they ever did. It just is so amazing, the emotional journey it takes you through that, in just that high point of the end, and then they can't let it in with too much seriousness, so you have that nice little bit of Her Majesty at the end. I think that side is just brilliant all the way through. All right, question number 8. What is your opinion of Revolution 9? Well, as I hinted at by saying it was the one song I might could live without, it's probably my least favorite Beatles song. But I like it fine for what it is. Like I said, I never skip it when I'm listening to the White Album. Although I'm not crazy about Good Night either, It's Okay. So I think some of the early years when I first had the album ages ago, I might occasionally just turn it off at Revolution 9, but I never do that anymore. I listen all the way through. In a way, it's kind of a way to kind of let my mind wander, because I don't really pay that close attention to most of it. So if I'm doing something else, it can kind of just fade into the background, so it doesn't really bother me that much. And parts of it, though, are kind of interesting. Favorite Beatles record label? Well, I'm going to go with that classic Apple label. Of course, that I just love the how great that green apple looks, and then there's the flip with the sliced apple is so cool. I think it's really my favorite of any record label, I think. Question number, where are we? Question number 10. Favorite closing track on a Beatles album? I'm going to go with Get Back. It's one of my favorite Beatles songs of all time, and even though I like the single version better than the album version, I love that song so much. And the one thing I do like about the album version is when you get to the end and you have the dialogue from the end of the rooftop concert with, you hear Maureen Starkey cheering him, and Paul saying, "Thanks, Mo," and then of course John's "Hope we pass the audition" line is great too. So that's my favorite closing track. Question number 11, Rubber Soul or Pet Sounds? I'm going to go with Rubber Soul. That album is just so great all the way through. Pet Sounds, not to take anything away from it, but what can I tell you? Rubber Soul for me. Number 12, Let It Be or Let It Bleed. I mentioned in one of my other videos how Let It Be had to kind of grow on me, and it's really only been in more recent years that it has grown on me. But still, even though I would rate Let It Be higher now than I would have a few years ago, I'm still between the two. I'm going to have to give the Stones this one. I'm going to take Let It Bleed. This is it's always between this and Sticky Fingers as to which is my favorite Stones album. They're both great albums, but Gimme Shelter is such an iconic song. The title track I love, Love in Vain, Monkey Man, Country Honk is fun too. Yeah, so Let It Bleed for me. Number 13. What is your favorite title track? I'm going to go with A Hard Day's Night. I love that song so much. It's one of my favorite John songs of all time. Absolute classic. Number 14. Which Beatle would you most want to meet? I'm a Paul guy, first and foremost, so I would say Paul. Also, I think he would be the most fun. I think, if I could have met John, John seemed like he would have been fun to hang out with if you caught him in the right mood. It seems like he was generally pretty good with the fans, but he also, especially in later years, seemed to kind of more value his privacy a little bit. So he might not be as as fun to hang out with, depending on how you caught him. And George, I always got the impression George would really be on, and Ringo, what day you caught him on. But Paul seems like the type of guy that he would, unless you just caught him on a really bad day, he'd be very engaging and a lot of fun to hang out with. Plus, if I could meet Paul, it'd be a chance to not only talk Beatles but talk Wings and his solo stuff too. And I love his solo stuff. Number 15, is Paul dead? No, Paul is alive and well. I never really understood why that hoax caught on the way it did. Seems like some people really believe it seriously, and I just don't get it. So yeah, Paul is alive and well. Thanks, Jack at JT Media, for these questions. If you haven't checked his channel out, check it out. I'm going to put a link in the description to his original video asking the questions. Thanks for watching.